So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the top 5 myths about making money. Okay, this is something that I had and I have seen a lot of people have, and it comes from culture, it comes from upbringing, it comes from what we have seen in the society, school, it comes from many different places, and these myths are not accidental. They were created to blind people, they were created because there were hidden agendas behind these myths, and they come from a lot of authority figures, and it has an effect on the mind and how the mind operates and functions. There are not just these 5 myths, there are many more actually, but we're going to cover the top 5 that I think, plus a bonus at the end. Top 5 myths about making money. Okay, so number 1 myth is that you need qualifications to make money, right? You have got people, whenever you want to talk about making money, people immediately associate that with qualification. Get a degree, get a college. I remember when I was around 15 years old, I had to choose my subjects. And my brother said, you need to choose science. I said, I don't want to learn science. I want to learn politics and history and all of this. And he was like, no, if you don't learn science, because a person who has taken science in his 11th and 12th grade, all the career options, basically jobs, will be available. And I said, I don't give a fuck. And he said that if you take these history and political science, then your options will be limited. So he was obviously conditioned like that, and he was trying to suggest something that even he did not know. But what he was trying to suggest is that you would be able to go to college, get degree and qualification, and then something will happen. But that cannot be true. That is not true, because Elon Musk dropped out of college, Bill Gates dropped out of college. Someone I know who made 500 million pounds did not even finish school. In fact, many people that I know, even Ivy League, who did not even go to Ivy League schools, became CEOs of top public companies, because it's really about connections and relationships and value proposition. So it doesn't matter what your report card says, what your CV says. I don't care. If you can bring 2 objects of value together and create synergies around it, you can create multiple synergistic relationships with people with money and people who need and money and products and services. If you know how to synthesize between these things and choose the right industry, choose the right market, I think that's more important than a degree. And leadership skills are more important than degree. Leadership skills, communication skills, image, and all of these things are more important. And taking action is one of the most important things. And position that you are in, your vision, etc. So all of this is more important than qualifications. Okay, your qualification doesn't mean anything. And the reason this myth exists is because the college is a business. Okay, universities are part of businesses, and they are very well connected with the school. So, and kids who are in school, they don't really understand how the world works. So that's the right time to get them and inflict this point of view that if you don't get a good college, if you don't get good grades, you don't get a good college. If you don't get good college, you don't get a good job. If you don't get a good job, you can't make money. So they link this qualification or degree, which you can only get from a college. Somebody has to stamp the paper to give you the ability to make money or give you the permission to make money. But that's a load of horse shit. And the super rich, they don't give a shit. They know that it's about value proposition, and it's about connecting people, and it's about creating networks of relationships. So that's myth number 1. Myth number 2 is you need experience. Now, experience helps, but how much experience can you get? Just think about Elon Musk, the types of companies he's involved in. Twitter, SpaceX, SolarCity, Tesla. These are very, different types of companies, and particularly people who are with degrees are going and asking him, how do you manage to do this? How do you manage to do this? How do you manage your time? Just go and look at the number of employees under him, and you will know how he manages his time. Okay. So there are people, and even in the documentary on SpaceX, you can see that there are many scientists that are advising him. So he leverages, he gets a lot of advice. He's a smart, extraordinary entrepreneur. I worship him. I want to be like him. But he has found a way without a degree to synthesize different skills and relationships and experiences of other people. Not everything in business has to come from you. So yes, you need some experience, but it doesn't have to be yours. It can be someone else's. In some situations, you may also need qualifications, but it doesn't have to be yours. You can get professional advice and operate that way. I mean, business is about collaboration. Not everything has to come from you. So get out of that mindset. So number 3 myth is you need money to make money. Once again, yes, in some sense it's true, but it doesn't have to be yours. So you don't have to come from money to make money. That's the point. You will have some leverage if you come from money, but guess what? Even if you don't come from money, you can make a connection with someone with money and you have the same leverage. How long does it take to make a connection? 5-10 minutes, 15 minutes, couple of meetings, you have connection with someone with money. And there are thousands of people with money, millions of people with money. And there are thousands and thousands of big institutions with whom you can create contact. So that's a myth. Number 4, this is my favorite. You got to listen to this. Astrology and horoscopes and money are related. Once again, let me re-emphasize, astrology is a business and horoscopes are a business. I come from India, where every street corner has a person sitting on the street who can tell you your future. The most seductive thing in this world is knowing what your future is going to be. And these people don't know anything about themselves, but they will tell you about what's going to happen in your life with a great amount of confidence. And you will see so many people are coming to them, and it's a mass hysteria. Okay, I remember when I was a kid, my aunt used to go to this man and he would write, make charts and come up with calculations as to what's going to happen in my life. And every single prediction that he made in my life, when I stopped giving it power, nothing came true. Not just him, I had several individuals that my family went and, what's going to happen with him, what's going to happen with him. And these guys are complete, brokies, and they're using this as a method to make money. And it's really something, it's a scam, okay? And I remember recently I was talking with someone and I was showing them before and after results of my progress. And the first thing they asked me, what's your date of birth? What's your time of birth? I said, what the fuck does my date of birth have to do with anything? I'm talking about an action that I took, action and consequence and strategic thought from a very shitty position to a very good position. I mean, I know exact pathway, and I can get someone to do it over and over again. And I have gotten people to do it over and over again. So what does astrology have to do with this? You take the stars and this connected to that and that connected to that and that connected to everything and this connected to this consequences and that. I mean, come on, I had, some of the astrologers actually predicted deaths of family members, and it happened on the day they predicted. But those astrologers, guess what? When they tried to predict my future, it didn't work. So it's a big myth and it's a business, okay? The 5th one is luck, right? You see someone, a young guy in Ferrari, and you think, oh, what a lucky guy, he had a good father and he had, a rich father or whatever. Luck is a myth again. It's again, luck is something that happens by not taking control of your life. So if you don't have some variables in your life under control, sometimes things will happen your way, sometimes things will not happen your way. And there was this one guy, I remember I used to be I was sitting at a poker game, a high stakes poker game, and this guy walked in and he said that I need to park my car in this particular spot. If I park my car in this particular spot, then I win in the game. I get lucky. It's a lucky spot. So people, and we come up with these narratives when we don't understand what's happening. If he understood poker, he knows that he's playing against a stronger player, and poker is a game of skill. Just like that, in a casino, the house always wins. It's mathematics, and it's financially the casino is in a position of power. So it's really variables that are not taken into control that leads to consequences which are not accounted for, and then they are labeled as luck or unluck. There is no such thing. You make your own luck in life, and you got to take things under your control, not in some divine intervention. Things are in your control. You got to claim the control, identify all the variables, and make it happen. How does a plane take off and 95% of the times or 98% of the times lands? Okay, so that's not luck. It's engineering, science, and bringing variables under your control. And we as a humanity, as we move forward, we are taking more and more variables under our control, and we will see that things will become very predictable for us because we are creating the future. And the best way to predict the future is to create it. So there was a time where you could not predict how much time it's going to take going from point A to point B. But now, because of the Google Maps, we have taken that variable under control, and there is more predictability about the future. Similarly, there's going to be many aspects that we don't understand, that are out of our control, that we will one day bring into our control, and we'll have a very strong future where we can predict things, and it's going to get very predictable. So even road accidents are going to get minimized once it's automated driving, etc. All of this is going to happen. So it's less about luck and more about taking control. I had someone, final story, I had someone who was one of my family members. He passed away in a car accident, and you can say it's an unluck, but it's not. He was going to an office at a time where there were a lot of truck drivers and a lot of trucks going on, and a lot of these truck drivers drink. So it was the most unsafe area where most amount of accidents happen. And he just took a job at a place where his working hours were like that. He could have accounted for that early on, and I do account for such scenarios also. So really, you got to take control of your destiny here. And yes, those are the 5 top myths about making money. And the bonus one, as promised, is you got to work hard for money. In today's day and age, this is not true. Again, business is about gaining leverage. You have leverage of technology, leverage of other people, leverage of media that you can use, and you can reduce, you can use technology to multiply the effect of your efforts. So that's no longer true. Once again, these myths have an agenda behind it, and they run into societies. Now think about something. I think Jordan Peterson once, he was saying that to be among the 1% of the people, if you make $30,000 a year, you are among the 1% of the people. I think $30,000 to $50,000. Just think about that. So 99% of the people in the world do not make $30,000. What does that mean? That means that they don't understand money. And 1% of that 1% probably make, millions, and 1% of that probably make hundreds of millions. So that goes to tell you that such a few people understand how money works. And because so few people understand how money works, that's why they are rich. So they want to control the information. They don't want to share the information. They want to control the information. And this is the reason most people are kept fools, and they don't know why things are not happening their way, and things are changing constantly, and they are not updated. and they have bad information, and sometimes things work, sometimes things don't work. And when you don't understand something, you will create superstitions. The only time we as human beings create superstitions is when we don't understand how something works. If you understand how something works, you will have a perfect hypothesis or perfect equation where what you want will happen every single time. You will have predictability. But when you don't understand something, if you don't understand how sales work, you will be uncertain about the call. If you knew how it works, you can predict your income, you can predict a lot of things by taking control of that, of variables, of risks, and bringing things under control. You know, the rich people do not live in uncertainty. They create certainty. So that's what I want to leave you with. Less than 1% people know how to make $30,000. So 99% of the people have superstitions about money because they don't understand it, because the information was hidden from them. So that's why myths exist. And that also should tell you should not hang out with most people because they don't get it. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.